Andrew Martin was built like a superhero, 6 feet 6 inches tall, powerful, fearless, and destined for greatness. Wrestling fans knew him as Test, one of WWE's most dominant big men during the Attitude Era. He fought legends, headlined major events, and lived the dream millions only imagined. But on March 13, 2009, Andrew Martin was found dead in his Tampa, Florida apartment at just 33 years old. The official cause of death was ruled as an accidental drug overdose, but what shocked the world even more was what doctors discovered afterward: severe CTE brain damage, similar to that found in elderly Alzheimer's patients. How could a man so young suffer such catastrophic brain trauma? Was his death truly accidental, or was Andrew Martin silently destroyed by an industry that glorified violence? Tonight, we uncover the unnatural and mysterious death of Andrew Martin, a tragedy that changed professional wrestling forever. Andrew James Robert Patrick Martin was born on March 17, 1975, in Whitby, Ontario, Canada, and from an early age, it was clear he was physically different. Taller, stronger, and more athletic than his peers, Andrew gravitated naturally toward sports, especially wrestling. He trained relentlessly, driven by the dream of becoming a professional wrestler, and his dedication paid off when he joined WWE in the late 1990s. Fans were immediately drawn to his intimidating presence and raw power. As Test, Andrew Martin became a central figure in the Attitude Era, engaging in high-profile storylines, brutal matches, and unforgettable moments. He wasn't just muscle. He was agile, explosive, and capable of incredible feats that pushed his body to dangerous limits night after night. The Attitude Era was wrestling's most violent and demanding period, where success often depended on how much pain a performer could endure. Andrew Martin wrestled through devastating chair shots, hardcore matches, falls from heights, and repeated head trauma that went largely ignored at the time. Concussions were brushed off, injuries were minimized, and wrestlers were expected to work through it. Andrew was known as a company man, tough, dependable, and willing to sacrifice his body for the show. But behind the scenes, the damage was accumulating. Each blow to the head, each match without proper recovery, was slowly altering his brain, though no one, not even Andrew himself, fully understood the consequences. As injuries piled up, Andrew Martin, like many wrestlers of his generation, turned to prescription painkillers to cope. What started as medical necessity gradually became dependency. Friends later recalled that Andrew often complained of headaches, memory loss, and mood swings. He became more withdrawn, struggling with depression and emotional instability. Wrestling had been his identity, and when his WWE run ended, Andrew felt lost, disconnected from the spotlight that once defined him. The transition away from wrestling was devastating, leaving him isolated and vulnerable, battling both physical pain and mental darkness in silence. In March 2009, Andrew Martin was living alone in Tampa, Florida. On March 13th, concerned friends discovered him unresponsive in his apartment. Emergency responders pronounced him dead at the scene. He was just days away from his 34th birthday. Toxicology reports later revealed a combination of prescription drugs in his system, leading authorities to rule the death as an accidental overdose. But this was only part of the story and not the most disturbing part. After Andrew Martin's death, his brain was examined by researchers at Boston University, and what they discovered stunned the medical world. Andrew suffered from chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, a degenerative brain disease caused by repeated head trauma. Even more horrifying, doctors found that his brain showed damage similar to that of an 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient. At just 33 years old, Andrew's brain was severely deteriorated. This revelation raised terrifying questions. How many concussions did he actually suffer? How many warning signs were ignored? And how many other wrestlers were walking around with similar damage? While Andrew Martin's death was officially ruled accidental, many fans and experts argue that it was unnatural in every sense. His overdose was not an isolated incident. It was the final result of years of unaddressed brain trauma, pain, addiction, and neglect. Andrew did not simply take too many pills. He was mentally impaired by CTE, a condition that affects judgment, impulse control, and emotional regulation. In many ways, Andrew Martin didn't fully understand what was happening to him, and by the time the truth came out, it was too late. Andrew Martin's death became a turning point in professional wrestling. His case helped bring attention to CTE and the devastating impact of repeated head injuries. WWE and other promotions began taking concussion protocols more seriously, reducing chair shots to the head and implementing wellness programs. But these changes came too late for Andrew. His story remains one of the most tragic examples of how entertainment, when unchecked, can destroy the very people who give it life. Andrew Martin was more than test. He was a son, a friend, and a dreamer who gave everything to professional wrestling. His death may have been labeled accidental, but the truth reveals something far darker, a system that failed to protect its performers. Andrew Martin didn't lose his life in the ring, but the damage done there followed him home and ultimately took everything. His story is not just a tragedy, it is a warning.